I just got back from a bike ride and I crashed. I hurt myself pretty bad. And I was inspired, you know what I'm saying? When I got back, I got bruised and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know what? I was supposed to be I actually had done a video earlier today on the actual bike itself, but I need to do a whole lot of editing. And so I was like, you know what? Forget that. I'm gonna do something different for my page. Right now, I'm gonna talk to you guys about coding. And I wanna, I guess, make a bit of a future prediction. Lately, I've been coding a lot more in PowerShell, like, doing a lot of scripting and coding in PowerShell. And based on my past with a lot of JavaScript and Python, I guess first Python and then really heavy. I like JavaScript for more, but I kind of started out with Python a little bit before that. I think now that I really think about it, but yeah. So I got really deep into JavaScript, and there's just so many frameworks. There's like ECMA. There's E86, whatever you want to call it. I forget the names right now. E92, Unleaded. They just keep coming out with different ones every day nowadays. But then I started coding in C#, a little more heavy, because I also coded in Java, right? And everybody used to tell me that that C# was better than Java in the sense that it was more bundled, packaged, and the documentation was a little better, and it was maintained by Microsoft, who was pretty much trusted, right? So as I started to get more into C# and using .NET, I really enjoyed it, right? And the more you start to use Microsoft stuff in product, you have to do PowerShell scripting, because Azure, right? They have the Azure modules and stuff that you need to use for deployment and resource management, so forth, right? Blah, blah, blah. And as I'm getting into this, there's this new IDE that you can use for PowerShell, right? And as I get into it, I can't help but remember thinking that, maybe PowerShell could potentially become the new, C#, or an effect of what JavaScript kind of has, over the time evolved into what it has. What if PowerShell was one of those things that could be a really important tool to invest in today that people don't really tell you about, you know what I mean? And people really think that it's old and out of date. I used to do a lot of Linux, and I love doing Linux, but I can't lie, using PowerShell has provided a whole lot of functionality that Linux style, you know what I mean? I don't do a lot of Mac programming because I don't believe in Mac, to be honest. Not that I don't believe in Mac. Mac's not exactly my favorite. A lot of their products really frustrate me, so if I have to choose my time, I'm really not going to go with most of Apple stuff or trying to learn Mac. But I have, obviously in the past, because I've done a couple of Apple, projects, and you have to use Apple computers to develop Apple, I guess, apps and so forth, and it's really frustrating. I've had a really rough history with Apple and development for them, but that's neither here nor there. What's here is me promoting PowerShell scripting. Yeah, perfect timing. Let's get it.